Hello and welcome back to Grace.Filled. I am so excited that you decided to join me for another video. In this video, I am showing you guys how I created these amazing shelves in my office and how I did it on a tight budget. So if you've been following me for a while, then you remember just a few videos ago, I was talking about the areas that was causing me stress in my life. And I went ahead and I took care of one of them in a video when I was showing you how I went ahead and reorganized my pantry. And now in this video, I wanted to tackle my office. So my office just had a lot of stuff all over the place. It's a very small space. And so I figured the way to get the most use out of the room was to use storage going up as opposed to storage going out. But I needed to do it on a budget. And so I went to Lowe's and I found some boards, but they were $50 per board. And I needed between 6 to 8 of them. And I was like, there's no way I can pay $50 per board. That's not even including the screws nor the brackets. So what I decided to do was go and take a look at the plywood. And they had a big sheet of plywood that was about $25, $26. And I asked the guy, hey, can you cut this for me? And so he cut it into 4 strips. So I bought 2 of those. So that brought my total to $50. And then I bought a container of screws, which brought me to about $60. And then I ended up buying 23 brackets that were about $3 a piece. So all in all, this project cost me under $140. I want to say it was $126 to be exact, but don't hold me to it. My channel is all about motivation, inspiration, and encouragement for your life, whether it's homeschooling, homesteading, homemaking, homekeeping. It doesn't matter if it's about being a wife, a mom. I'm here to inspire, encourage, and motivate you. And I think no better way than for me to do it for myself. See, the truth is, I've never really used a drill before. My son has learned how to do that, and so I pretty much got him to put all the things together for me. But on this particular day, my husband was gonna do it, and he just felt a little bit tired, and I needed to get this done. I knew that I needed to get it done, and I wanted to stay motivated, and so I thought, you know what? I need to learn this tool for myself. And to be honest, I was inspired from Dom over at Faith Family Homestead and Taquisha at Our Freedom Song, and even Della Chris over on her YouTube channel. Like, they built their entire house themselves, her and her husband. And so these women are strong women. And to me, they showed me that, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. So I decided, let me give this a go. And I did this project all by myself in about half a day. So I hope that you let this video inspire you, that if there's something that you want to do, just try it. Just try. And if there's some things that you see or that you like or that you want or you need and you can't afford it, just take a look around and see what other options are available. You might not be able to get what you want exactly, but I'm sure that there is something else that is similar, comparable, and that can give you a similar result. And that's exactly what I did. I wasn't so focused on I have to have this that I missed the blessing in being able to get 8 boards for the price of 1 board. So for this wall, since this was going to be above my computer, and I know I can tend to feel slightly claustrophobic, and again, this is a very small office space that just has a window, no closet, I decided that what I would do was I would start from the bottom with the shelf that would give me the most comfort being as close to my desk as possible, and I would work my way up. So all the boards have the exact amount of space, with the exception of the top one, because at the time I thought that I was going to put boxes on top of that. As the Amazon boxes came, I would store them on a top and that I would use them as I needed them. I also hope this video helps you just to remember that when you see people working hard behind the scenes, when you see them living their best life, when you see the finished products of their hand, when you see their homestead and their gardens and things they've created and their rooms and all of these things, keep in mind the work that it took. It's so easy to take a look and be like, oh, I want that. And it's easy to covet. But let me tell you something, there's so much work that goes into these things behind the scenes that unless you do it yourself, you won't even know. You will have no idea. When I tell you at the end, my whole body hurt and I was so tired and I was actually sweating. But I want to tell you something. I was so encouraged that I did this. Like, I actually did it. And that is something that I will keep with me for a while. Now, hindsight, could I have painted the walls? Could I put up fancy wallpaper and all of that? Absolutely, of course. But that's not what needed to be done at the moment. And that's not what was the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me was getting all of these shelves up so that I could see what I had and that I could start giving everything a home so that when it's time for me to start producing, I am ready. And I think that that is an important thing when you're doing a project, is to keep your eye on the goal and honestly to keep it simple and functional, because we can get so sidetracked of, oh, well, wait, give me the extras and this, the frills and all the things. But sometimes we need to just remember, what is our reason for doing this? What do we need? We need to keep it functional, we need to keep it affordable, and we need to keep it simple. And you can just see like the boxes are here and they're just stacked up. And so I really needed to get the things. And actually, when I was putting the board up, it knocked over my boxes. So this is kind of what everything is looking like. This is what the room is starting out like, and you can see how things are looking now that I have the first set of shelves up. My plan was actually to get all of the shelves up, and then I decided that I would just start putting things where I felt that they would go best. But that's just not what happens. You know, sometimes you can plan things one way and they might go a different way. And that's okay too, because again, are you accomplishing your goal? Because if you are, that's what's important. And so I was like, you know what, forget the other side. We're just going to work where we are right now. And so that's what I decided to do. I decided to just go ahead and take everything out of the boxes so that I could have my floor clear. I was tired of looking at these boxes, and I'd much rather look at the product. I'm a highly visual person, and so I'd rather see these beautiful boxes and these beautiful things because I knew that it would inspire me to create. And so that is what I did. And so here you can see just how small of a space, like I said, that I'm really working with. But you know something I've been saying on this channel for 7 years is that you can do a lot with a little. And it doesn't matter the size space you have. It doesn't, whether it's like office space, whether it's land, whether it's garden space, whether it's homeschool space, whether it's your kitchen, and whatever area or capacity you're in, it doesn't matter how small it is, because great things can come from small places. And again, with a little, you can do a lot. It's never about what you have, honestly, but it's about what you do with it. And again, I just hope this video encourages you that whatever little you have, just take it and do your best to steward it well. And I honestly believe that you're going to get more and that you're going to get a lot out of it. And that's what I'm believing for my life and for myself, that because I have been stewarding well all that I have been given, that I'm going to get more. So I'm going to just play a little music for you and just let you watch me organize this shelf, and then stay tuned. Don't leave yet, because we're going to go to the other side, and that's where the fun really is going to begin. And at the end, we'll go ahead and get everything looking all beautiful, and I am ready to create. Okay, let's go to the other side. So I had this wall shelf here. I was thinking of sticking the wall shelf in the middle, and then that way I could go ahead and have a few shelves on each side. So maybe like 3 shelves at the top or 2 at the top, and then this middle piece, and then shelves on either side of it. However, I would have then needed someone to cut it for me. I would have had to wait. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to just kind of make it symmetrical to the other side, as I did use the exact same spacing. And I'm really glad that I did, because I think in the way that I did it, I was able to get even more storage space. And you'll see at the end how well it turned out. And you know what? Don't be dismayed if things don't go the way that you want, the way that you hope, the way that you expect, because sometimes when things shift and sometimes when things change, if you pay attention, you might notice that the result is better than you could have ever hoped for, imagined, or even dreamed of. So just trust the process, even if it doesn't look like what you had in mind. So if you're new here, please let me know in the comments so I can just greet you, I can just welcome you. And if you're liking this video so far, would you please give me a thumbs up? I did have one more thought that I wanted to share with you guys. And to be honest, it's very raw, real, and transparent, but that's how I am here. I would have never thought that I could have done this. Before, I would have just waited however long that it took. And internally, would have been sad, I would have been upset or frustrated. But you know, the thing is, you can do hard things. And because I was on a strict time frame of when I need to get certain things done by, I can't wait for people to do for me what I can do for myself. So it's like, right now in your life, what are you waiting for somebody else to do that you can do if you just try? It might look hard. This seems so hard to me. I know to some people it sounds so funny, but I'm just being honest. It was hard for me to think even like, wait, I can do that? Like, can I do that? Like, that seems hard. How will I know how to, right? Like, starting anything new is always hard. But again, sometimes it just comes down to it. Why are you waiting for someone to do what you can do for yourself? Especially when you're on a time frame or when you have other things that you need to do. Sometimes it's best just to get it done. Only you know. But I think that since it is a new year, it could be time for a new mindset, a new mind shift, a new mentality, and moving from a place of I can't to I can do all things. I can do all things. It might take me a while. I might mess up a few times, but I can do all things. And honestly, even with this, I thought about cutting out a portion, but I was like, no, I'm going to leave it and be very real and transparent. Everything turned out well, but there was one piece that I put on the wrong way. And so when I was measuring one side of the shelf, it was longer than the other side. I realized the error. I had to take the pieces off, go ahead and flip the piece around, then put all the wood pieces back on. So it was extra work and extra time, but it was a learning process. And it's a good learning process, because when you're doing things and when you're trying things, sometimes things mess up. Sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes you didn't realize something. You're growing. And when you're growing and being stretched, it doesn't always feel good. Like, it doesn't always seem good. And it can be a challenge, but at the end of the day, we rise to the challenges. And honestly, this is how we learn how to do things. And so I've heard people say like, oh, I'm afraid to start canning. And I'm like, oh, don't be afraid to start canning. But when I'm honest and I look back, I'm like, but wait, I was afraid to start canning. And like, oh, I'm afraid to get chickens and goats and animals. And it was like, well, wait, when I first started, I was afraid to get those things too. And so I just want to encourage you, like, if you feel afraid, if you feel just nervous, to try, because I've never heard anybody talk about stuff like this. And so I just want to share it to ease your mind that you're not the only one. And if it's just me and you, then hey, again, you're not the only one. It's me too. So again, just letting this new year that we're walking into be the year that you don't let fear hold you back. Like, don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make holes or cut too short or damage things. Like, it's just a part of the process, and it's the process of learning, and it's the process that we grow and that we mature. And so don't hold back that. Like, go ahead and do it and give your all, because if you do, even if you mess up, I think in the end of a thing, it'll be so good, so worth it, and you'll be so glad that you started. And so I did go ahead and fixed it, and I went ahead and put the shelves back. And I think that is key when we realize that we make a mistake. You can see it's that one right there, that it is important that we rectify it and not try to save face or not try to pretend or hide it or act like we didn't make a mistake. Like, it's okay. It was my first time using a drill, my first time putting up shelves. But again, I did realize I made a mistake, and then I rectified the situation. And now I am just moving forward with His grace. So I just appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for just being along this journey with me, supporting me, cheering me on, leaving me beautiful comments, pink hearts. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel and it's something that you're interested in, please go ahead and think about it and subscribe. I have almost 1,000 videos, and they're broken up by playlist, and it's something for everyone on pretty much every topic that there is. And if you desire just a little bit of a closer walk, I do have a membership page, and on the membership page we do monthly challenges. It's really for accountability, and I share a few posts and things like that. But there are multiple tiers, and so you can kind of pick what you feel like will work better for you. But it's just a place that we can go a little bit deeper and have more intimate conversations about topics. And so if that's something that's interesting to you, feel free to go ahead and join. But I have a lot more videos like this on the way, and so I'm excited to share it with you guys. I hope that whatever you are attempting in your life, that you remember it's okay if it seems hard, and that you remember that I said you can do hard things no matter what the hard thing is. So I hope this motivates, encourages, and inspires you for the rest of your day and your week. I always say here on my channel, you can do a lot with a little. And until the next video, blessings.